Alright, you asked for it, and you shall get it. Welcome back to Chimera Miniatures, everyone. My name is Mr. Sean, and today we're coming at you with another Incel video. Before we really get going today, I just wanted to address this comment from one of my previous, more recent videos.
504 sounds like you approve of extreme violence against men as long as it's women doing it. If a woman cheats, there is a chance that the man has to raise a child that is not his own, good enough reason for that man to be angry. But when a man cheats, I ask, what gives her that right, exactly? Given that situation, what has she lost? Nothing. She should take a hint from Virgin Chad at 928 and indeed work on herself a little more. Bonus points if you see the double standard here.
So, yeah, Mr. Good Sir, I know we had a little bit of discourse in the comments, but I just wanted to address it here that yes, I do see the double standard, and that double standard is that you think that it is somehow worse for a woman to cheat on a man than it is for a man to cheat on a woman. And the thing is, they're both bad, especially because the biggest thing either party loses, no matter which gender it is they lose trust. Now, the part of my last video that he is referring to is this right here, where it's if a man cheats, a good woman should get down on her knees, kiss his feet, and apologize for not being perfect. And the funny thing is even in his comment here, he's really just certifying that mentality and how fucking crazy it is that if a guy goes and fucks another girl, that woman, his girlfriend loses, or wife, whatever, loses nothing. Well, no, she's lost trust. It's like you think that feelings have no value because if she cheats and gets pregnant, oh, well, you might end up raising someone else's kid, but you're losing money. But I mean, if it was just money, I don't think you'd care as much. It's the fact that you now no longer trust your partner to be faithful. And no, I don't condone violence against anyone of any gender, against committed by anyone, no matter what their gender is. I'm not okay with men hitting women, women hitting men, women hitting women, men hitting men. It's not, violence except in, specific cases of self-defense or just taking out the trash, violence is not the answer. No, it would not be okay. I would not be okay with a woman actually ripping a man's dick off, as I implied what she's actually doing when she gets on her knees after she finds out you cheated on her. No, what I'm insinuating is that she's not about to kiss your feet. But likewise, if a woman cheated on a man and he got down on his knees, I don't think he's about to kiss her feet either. It's not okay for the cheater to believe that the person they cheated on is the one who owes them an apology. But guys, I guess I've really made it as a commentator when the neckbeards start commentating on your commentary. So to the commenter, I really hope that you can understand that your viewpoint is wrong, and it's not men versus women. We're all equal in this. It's not okay for anyone to cheat on anyone. It's not okay for anyone to be violent against anyone. But the reason I said the thing I did is because it wasn't a post. I wasn't reading a post that said that when a woman cheats on a man, he should get on his knees and apologize. It was the other way around, hence the way my commentary was worded. It wasn't because I somehow think that women have the right to commit violence against men, and the fact that that's immediately where your mind went, you're a little bit messed up, sir, and I do hope you get some help. Allegedly, in my opinion, not a doctor. I just sometimes play one in D&D. Alright guys, now that that's been addressed, let's get into these incel posts. I'll tell you what, sometimes these are really fun to read, they're real funny. Other times I feel a lot like Butterscotch when he was forced to read all the comments for celebrities to give them their safe space, and it started affecting his mental and physical health. Like some of these are going to be hard to read. Some of these are just awful, and but we're going to get through them together, guys, alright? We're going to have a good time. Alright, we're going to start off with an easy one today, guys. We're going to just ease ourselves into the terrible. When she's your girlfriend, when she's your wife. I'll be honest, I'm definitely digging the wife over the GF on this one, man. You guys know my preference, but, nothing wrong with either picture. I know the wife one is heavily photoshopped, but, I guess Daenerys Targaryen is a beautiful woman at any size. Again, maybe if you were into things that weren't virgin Japanese waifus, you wouldn't still be virgins. Also, guys, I'm just going to come out and say it. Anyone who has fucked a bigger girl knows that it's a great time, alright? They'll just ask them, they'll tell you. The one on the left, that's a girlfriend, that's a girl. Girls are fine, but the one on the right, that is a woman. We are not the only ones feminists want to make extinct. They also want to make the elephants go extinct. I'm very concerned because the feminists want to drive the elephants to extinction because the trunk of an elephant reminds them of an uncircumcised penis. I am absolutely serious about that. Feminists are sick. They're mental cases. It's over for elephant cells. Feminists are the most sick, disgusting creatures to ever walk the earth. I hate them more than I hate trannies, and believe me, no one hates trannies more than I do. However, my heart is full of love for those who deserve it, like Dr. Verwoerd. May his memory be a blessing. Alright, before we dive into this one, who the fuck is Dr. Verwoerd? Okay, so a quick Wikipedia search is that Hendrik Verwoerd was a South African scholar of psychology and sociology, and is basically known as as the architect of the apartheid, which, if you don't know, was South Africa's system of institutionalized racial segregation and white supremacy. So this man was essentially a South African Nazi. Thank God my channel's not monetized, because I would be making no money off of this video for that last sentence alone, this soon into the video. Okay, but back to diving into this one. This guy seems to think that feminists want to get rid of anything phallic, and ultimately, my dude, that is not what feminism is. Feminism is not about getting rid of the penis. It's about making sure that penises and vaginas are considered equal. So, you know, that it's not all, you know, that a pussy is going to have just as much of a voice as a cock. That is feminism. It's about equality. So no, they're not trying to get rid of all the animals with anything even remotely phallic. And, you know, here's the thing, my dude. Elephants don't just have trunks. They also have penises. In fact, so do all mammals. So, I don't know where you're going with that. The word woman isn't appealing. Incel shower thought. I was just thinking, but the word woman does nothing for me. When I think of woman, I think of my mother and females who are older than me. The word girl is much more appealing. And it's true, right? All of us want a cute girlfriend, not a sexy woman friend. Normies especially, despite being obsessed with calling everything pedo, use this terminology. Even foids want boyfriends, not man-friends. Furthermore, the word wife seems so inert and boring to me. Maybe if I ever met a foid that was worth marrying, I would change my mind. But for me, the word girl is the most appealing. It makes me think of vigor, giggling, innocence, mixed with sexual exploration. The fact is that everyone fetishizes youth, because youth is worth fetishizing. Youth is fertility, youth is energy, youth is growth. The only difference between normies and me is that normies have cognitive dissonance, or maybe I am just hung up on things because of a lost youth, delayed adolescence, lack of young or any romance, and the quarter-life crisis that I am going through right now. Maybe normies and people who had sex and love young just don't think like this because they achieved the milestones in the right time frame and developed at a normal rate. Oh my sweet, sweet 25-year-old psychopath, what have you done? Look, man, I went on my first date at 25. I didn't lose my virginity for another 5 years after that. So you know what, man? I didn't have young love. I didn't have those milestones. Where you are right now at the time of you posting this, I was there when you were at 25, and I didn't think this way, alright? I saw a video where a woman is having a talk with, it was basically having a discourse, a conversation back and forth with someone who is all about the virgin waifus, the youth fetishization, and he's like, yeah, you want a woman to be pure, and she's like, why is it that all men that are talking about purity don't realize that what they're really talking about is they want women that remind them of children, because purity, inexperience, all that naivete, that's all things children have. And if that's what you want in an adult sexual relationship, you want a woman that reminds you of a child. And I don't think I've ever heard anyone use the term woman friend or man friend. We always use boyfriend, girlfriend, just because that is that's just a normal phrase. I don't really think woman friend or man friend is really in the common vernacular, though I have heard guy friend or gal pal. And then you have this comment about maybe you'd feel differently if you ever met a female that was worth marrying. Well, I hate to tell you, buddy, but I don't think of any female you've ever met has looked at you and thought, yeah, that's a guy worth marrying. So, you know what, man? I don't think that the women are the problem in this one. I just think that you have a fucked up brain. Trigger warning for just awful, awful pieces of human garbage ideas in this next one. Do girls get wet in school shootings? Mandatory preface. I am not condoning school shootings. Rather, I am merely inquiring about female biology. We all know that women love attractive, dominant men. Within the context of a school shooting, the shooter is unequivocally the most dominant man. That is, the shooter transcends his current status in the dominance hierarchy and temporarily becomes an ultra Chad. Given the female's close proximity to this ultra Chad during the shooting, one can reasonably conjecture that the females, although scared for their life, experience extreme sexual arousal and attraction towards the shooter, hoping that perhaps rather than shooting them, the shooter has sexual intercourse with them instead. Is my theory correct? Have studies been conducted on this? Buddy, let's put you in a room full of all the victims of that and survivors of the Columbine shootings, let you pitch this to them, and then just see what happens to you. This is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. No, nobody is hoping, nobody looked at Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold and was like, God, put down the gun and put your dick in me. No, nobody thought that. You are a fucking psychopath. I never understood how people, especially women, just refuse or don't want to have sex. They somehow believe that sex is unnatural. It's like saying you don't want food to go into your mouth and that the act of chewing is too much to bear or something. She literally can just lay on her back, use some lubricant, and go to sleep. There's nothing more to be done there. Literally, and the guy will last all of like 3 to 5 minutes. With a condom on, no difference from using a dildo. A hard object going into a hole that it's meant to go into. Women can have zero attachment, barely even feel their small dick, and then go right back to watching a movie and eating some popcorn. Like, how are y'all pretending like a natural lubricated hole where a penis is supposed to go equals such a torturous act? It's no different than drinking a glass of water. Even if you're not really thirsty at all, it won't kill you. What the fuck did I just read? This really is the problem with incel mentality, is to them, sex is literally just a physical act that physically feels good, at least for the guy. It should feel good for the woman too, but we know that incels don't factor that in. Sex is a very emotional, hormonal experience. It is physical, it is mental, your entire body and mind on some level gets into it. Because ultimately, Mr. Incel, if you truly believe what you typed in this rant, why do you need a woman who's just lying there when you can get either a sex doll or just a fleshlight? Because ultimately, according to this, that's all you need. It's just a lubricated hole that a dick is meant to go into. So it will be, if there's no emotion, no mental, it's just physical, why do you need an actual woman there? Ask yourself that. And I'll be honest, cards on the table here. Not long before I got laid, I started to wonder if it was never going to happen to me, and I should just get myself a really high-end sex doll because it would just feel the same. But then I realized that's not what was lacking in my life, was just a physical sensation. I wanted an emotional connection with someone. And until you realize that's what's missing, you're not going to get any better. Why should I not get angry over being rejected? I've been rejected countless times, whether it be in real life or on dating apps. Each time I make excuses for the other person and say, oh, it's okay, their choice, I'm not entitled to anything. They must be going through something. I'm just not their type. It's okay, I must have said or done something wrong. I should work on myself. And make excuses for them. And I try to smile and not blame them and blame myself and keep cool and calm, but beneath this exterior I am beginning to crack. If they are entitled to rejecting me so many times, at the very least I should be allowed to be angry. If that is their right, then this should be my right. At some point, all this constant struggle begins to tire you out, and on the one hand, women are free to reject you, and on the other hand, you have to be all prim and proper and be a good sport about it, time after time after time, and suppress your feelings just so as to not be called toxic or become the poster boy for toxic masculinity and shit. Bro, whoever said you can't be angry? You can be angry, you can be frustrated, you can be disappointed, you're allowed to have emotions. What you're not allowed to be is a dick. If they reject you, and if they reject you politely, as I assume most of them do, you're not allowed to be like, okay, whatever, cunt, bitch, fuck you, I hope you get raped. No, you're not allowed to be that. You have to be polite, and so you're allowed to be upset, but you're not allowed to be a hostile jackass, which is what probably you're being when you get called toxic or the poster boy for toxic masculinity. It's okay to fail. It's okay to be upset when you fail. It's not okay to lash out at people whose only crime was not being that into you. This next one is incels responding to a post that a woman posted. I'm sure they will be the utmost respectable gentle sirs. I too feel bad for incels, for I believe the real issue is untreated mental illness. However, that doesn't mean I want to sleep with them. Kindness does not equal attraction. I hope the next man you meet stabs you right in the face and fucks that hole. I hope she gets into a car accident that smashes her face open and shatters her cervical vertebra. Wow, yeah, you know what, guys? That totally isn't something someone with untreated mental illness would say. There are people that desperately want to help you be happy, but if the only way you're willing to let them help you is to open up their pussies for you, yeah, you're never gonna get that help, buddy. I'm sorry. You need mental help, not dick help. Putting your key into a lock does not cure mental illness. You're not gonna ascend the way you think you are by going, I am the keymaster, are you the gatekeeper? In my college, have some Brazilian indigenous natives who entered through a quota. They are literally monkeys. They course in programming area, but they literally don't know how use a computer. Also have a curry teacher too. He can't speak Portuguese properly and have to speak English. So in the last class of this teacher, she gave a group job and make a group with me and one friend and asked 2 native girls and them accept. They gave me WhatsApp to make a group. I send private message to a better of them and she answer. I start talking like a human, but she's literally a monkey with 80 IQ. She simply don't understand what I said. IDK if because she live in a tribe or if she's simply dumb. She know Portuguese but simply can't interpretation what I say. So we're talking about parties and she said that she was in one and got drunk and make fun about her friend put anything in her drink. She literally probably been raped and guess it funny. I will do the same thing. I will in a party with her and drunked her and raped her. Alright bro, English is obviously your second language, so I'm gonna forgive all the spelling errors and grammar errors and all that, but first of all, what the fuck is wrong with being a monkey? Do you not see my avatar? As someone who identifies as a chaos monkey, I have always hated that monkey is used as a slur against people because I love monkeys. They are my favorite animal, and I hate that it is used as a derogatory term. Couple of side tangents here. There was a shirt that I believe it was like American Apparel or something was going to come out with that said coolest monkey in the jungle, and they made the mistake of having their model for it be a young black boy, and so that shirt got pulled because people got up in arms, and I was really mad because, you know what, I'd hoped it would come in an adult size and I could have my coolest monkey in the jungle shirt, but now, guess not. Also, today's whiskey ramblings are brought to you by this bottle of Monkey Shoulder Scotch whiskey, and this was given to me by my boss for a birthday gift recently, and I'd had this before. I literally tried it at a party because it had monkey in the name and monkeys on the bottle, and I looked at my boss and I said, did I tell you about this? And he said, oh no, but it had monkeys on it, so I assumed you would like it, and he was correct. One day he walked by me and he called me Monkey Boy, and I looked at him, I said, what did you call me? And he looked really nervous and he said, Monkey Boy? And I said, thank you. All I've ever wanted is to be recognized as the monkey that I am. There's a game that I've never played, but I did buy minis for it once, and it was called Pulp City, and I saw this, and there was this one set. It was called 8-Bot and Virus, and 8-Bot was a robotic gorilla, and Virus was this little, like, monkey with a Hawaiian shirt, cargo pants, and a robot arm, and never have I seen something that is more my spirit animal than Virus the Super Monkey. Buddy, I don't care if you think that these girls are there through quota. They're in your college. They got in. They are just as worthy to be there as you. And for the love of God, do not try and put something in a girl's drink so that you can have your way with her. You fucking sicko. And watch what you say about monkeys. I really hate women. These good-for-nothing fucking whores deny me something in which I am entitled to, but yet I have to break my back in order for these toilets to live an easy-go life. If hell exists, all of you Chad cock-sucking whores will be having sex with me in hell, whether you like it or not. Buddy, I think if there is a hell, you will be having sex with Chad, whether you like it or not. Or honestly, that might be heaven for you, because honestly, nobody is more obsessed with Chad's dick than incels. Next post comes from 4chan. Oh, this'll be good. 5 days trying to get my sister, ... Been coming on her sex toys the last 5 days and I've heard her use them. I'm trying to get her pregnant. She's not on birth control or anything and doesn't have a boyfriend. So if she's pregnant soon, I'll know it's mine. Buddy, that's beyond incest. That's just sad patheticest. The sad thing is you know that no woman will ever let you touch them, and let alone be near enough to where they live to touch their sex toys, so you have decided that if you're ever, the only way you could ever sire offspring is if you in vitro your own sister by jacking off onto her sex toys. You sick piece of shit. Alright, this is one of those cases where it would be perfectly fine to commit violence against this person. Put the boots to him, medium style. Venting. This whole blending into society shit is draining. Pretending to be a normal, good person like I'm not a misogynist, homophobic, transphobic, racist, incel neat. My pain is constant and sharp, and I do not hope for a better world for anyone. In fact, I want my pain to be inflicted on others. I want no one to escape. See, buddy, that's your problem. You have jealousy instead of envy. And I know this might not be the textbook definition, but I always notice that when someone says they're jealous of someone, it's them talking about how they think they deserve it more than that person does. Meanwhile, envious is always more used when it's like, oh, hey man, you have a great wife, a loving family, all this goodness in your life. I'm pretty envious, dude. I hope to have that for myself someday. It's okay to want what other people have. It's not okay to decide that you deserve it more than them. So the fact that you are basically, you're halfway there. You've realized that you're not a good person because of all these traits. The key is to improve yourself and to want the best for the others around you so that you're not just a bitter, miserable, jealous little man.
Execute all fourth wave feminists. Fourth wave feminism is spreading among us. It is the belief that women deserve more privileges over men, and it advocates for a society where voids have everything and the men have nothing. This type of ideology is a cancer that is slowly but successfully spreading amongst our youth, even among men, and we need to take violent action against these parasites before they control the mainstream media and sexually starve the incel race. Fourth wave feminists are a bunch of riddled teenage femoid children that have no logical concept of anything past the stuff the media has fed them. It is a more extreme take of the already femoidized media ideology that deprives the non-Chad species. Find them and kill these dyed-haired femoids at all costs. In the video game.
Alright guys, let's look at what fourth wave feminism is actually, at least according to Wikipedia. Fourth wave feminism is a feminist movement that began around 2012 and is characterized by a focus on the empowerment of women, the use of internet tools, and intersectionality. The fourth wave seeks greater gender equality by focusing on gendered norms and the marginalization of women in society. Fourth wave feminism became a movement for women to share their stories online about sexual abuse, sexual harassment, sexual violence, the objectification of women, and sexism in the workplace. The internet gave women the opportunity for their voices to be heard around the world in a matter of seconds. Social media gave women the possibility to talk freely about topics on their own time and on their terms. As women all over the world began telling their stories, they realized the magnitude of the problem and how it was happening everywhere. Internet activism is a key feature of the fourth wave. Fourth wave emphasizes intersectionality and interlocking systems of power and how these contribute to the social stratification of traditionally marginalized groups, such as people of color and trans people. Fourth wave feminists advocate, like earlier feminists, for greater representation of these groups in politics and business, and argue that society would be more equitable if policies and practices incorporated the perspectives of all people. Fourth wave feminism argues for equal pay for equal work, and that the equal opportunities sought for girls and women should extend also to boys and men in order to overcome gender norms. For example, by expressing emotions and feelings freely, expressing themselves physically as they wish, and being engaged parents to their children. The utilization of print, news, and social media platforms to collaborate, mobilize, and speak out against sexual assault, sexual objectification, sexual harassment, and other forms of gender-based violence is prominent. What does that mean? Well, that means that fourth wave feminism is even more so about equality amongst the genders, against all people, and to speak out against things like sexual assault and harassment, and the things that have often gone overlooked because people thought, oh, that's just the way it is and there's nothing I can do about it. So it's about empowerment, and not even just of women, but of all people. It's about the empowerment of equality and an end to system-supported sexual transgressions. So basically, it's about making everybody equal, and that's why incels hate it, because if everyone is equal, the only thing they have going for them is that in their minds, it's somehow still the 1950s where men are just inherently better than women, and if true equality comes to pass, they are fucked. And here's the great thing about equality and meritocracy is that it is so much more satisfying to be able to call someone out for being a waste of space than it is to be able to call them out on being a gender, a race, an age, whatever. Like, being able to call people out for actually being incompetent is so much more satisfying than having to blame something they can't even control. Honestly, my ideal society would be one where people are all at a baseline inherently equal, and then it is a meritocracy. So you can, a society where it doesn't matter if you're black, white, man, woman, old, young, tall, short, whatever. All that matters is whether or not you're a waste of space. Being able to be a dick in a meritocracy is satisfying because you're calling out people that are actual failures, which incels are, because if they're being judged based on their merits, they don't have any. Yes, I can be a dick, but I'm a dick with purpose. I want to insult you to encourage you to improve, which is why I'm insulting incels in this video. I'm not going to insult you because of how you look, unless that look is very unkempt and you smell really bad, because you can change that. You don't just get to be better. You have to be better. Venting. All I want is a pussy to fuck every day. It shouldn't be that complicated. I don't want to be a millionaire or the president. I don't want to be a professional athlete or a neurosurgeon. I just want pussy. The most basic thing in life. Even man that lived 100,000 years ago have access to that. It is so ridiculous that it must be a joke. Every day I imagine if any time someone is going to open the curtains and reveal that I'm in some kind of Truman Show. I just want pussy. Buddy, I hate to tell you that even if you overcome this weird obsession you have that that's all you want, and you somehow manage to make a girl fall in love with you and want to somehow stay with your pathetic ass, you ain't getting pussy every day, alright? That just ain't happening. None of us get that. And I say this as a total horn dog. There is more to life than pussy. I wasted my potential. Probably could have had pretty foids. Do you ever just feel like you were a pussy coward and that's why you're an incel? That you could have had sex with pretty girls and demolished their pussies and assholes and had them swallow your cum? Then you remember it's too late and all the foids are used up sluts with STDs. My dude, I don't know what you think cocks do to pussies, but if a woman can push a baby out of there and have it retract back to its normal, tightness, so to speak, those dicks haven't done anything to ruin that pussy. It would still be just as tight if you fucked them now. And there's nothing wrong with being what you called a pussy coward. I mean, not everyone is ready for sex at the same time. Not everyone is ready for dating at the same time. But the one thing that most people don't do is they don't maintain and create this level of anger that you have. That is ultimately what is keeping you from ever getting laid, not the fact that it's too late or foids are used up or that they have STDs. I mean, I'm sure some of them do, but certainly not the majority of them, man. All right, look at yourself, look at what you're doing, be better. All right, guys, let's look at a somewhat more wholesome meme. It's still in the vein, but let's look at something a little more uplifting. She rejected me. She's such a bitch. I want y'all to shame her. Chief, you're my man, but I have to stop you right there. That's not acceptable behavior. I have to agree here, King. Your distorted ideas about our society combined with ingrained misogyny is making you feel this way. Homie here is right, brother. You need to reevaluate your own securities, come to terms with it, and become better. We'll help you. I love this meme. I love it because you know what? Chads are not the enemy. One, I don't even really believe in chads the way incels do, but your friend that's has good luck with the ladies and you're like, oh, he's such a fucking chad. If you're really his friend, if he's your friend and you have, which he will be, you're the one that's preventing that from happening, he will help you. He will help make you better. He will help you get laid because you know what? Your friend, this chad, so to speak, he doesn't hate you. Not in any way, shape, or form the way you hate him. You could be making friends with people that have the skill sets you desire, and they would be more than happy to help teach you those quote-unquote skills. Incels, your enemies are not the Chads, they're not the Foids. Your enemy is you. The only person keeping you from getting laid is you. And that's really what I want you to take away from these videos. I am a dick, I get that. I am making fun of you. But I am making fun of you to make you better. Maybe you'll be like the guy in the very beginning and you'll just comment on how I have a double standard and I just hate men and I think women are better, which is not true. Or maybe if my jokes offend you, if my mocking of these posts offend you, you'll look at why. You'll maybe look at how you identify with those posts and you'll think about what I said. And then maybe you'll take that to heart and then maybe you will try and improve. And hopefully, with any luck, you'll finally get better, and you'll finally get laid. I want that for you. Chads want that for you. Society wants that for you. Society wants you to come in from out of the cold, which is, the cold is the incel forum echo chambers. We want you to come in from out of there. We want to put a blanket over you, sit you by the fire with a hot cup of soup, and help you get back to normal society and join the rest of us normies and live a normal, happy life, because at the end of the day, that's what everybody deserves, is to be happy. And you know what doesn't build happiness? Hatred. I hope you take that to heart, guys. Again, thank you for joining me. I'm Mr. Sean. This is Chimera Miniatures. If you like these videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the links, maybe buy a mini. But until next time, I hope you alpha great day and an even beta tomorrow. Bye-bye.